Hey guys, so basically, I have sorry, I have to keep my voice down because um it's late at night and people are sleepy. But basically, I have a lot of ideas, right, that I tend tend to think about but never do. And so basically, I thought I might as well share them, right? So this series is just gonna be me sharing my thoughts, basically. I'm gonna try and make a video a day. That's gonna be like my objective, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not. So yeah, um, I thought that ideas are so volatile because we are so volatile, right? People, we're so fragile, and the things that happen in your head are so abstract because they don't really happen unless you get them out of there. If you keep an idea in your head, nobody's gonna know that that idea ever happened, so it might as well not have happened. In fact, some might argue, I don't know if I would, but some might argue that it didn't happen. There's no plausible or physical way to prove that it happened. There's no way to get it back, and there's also no way to basically see through it, right? I don't know if I'm explaining myself, but basically, you can argue philosophically and physically that those ideas never happened because they had no impact, and therefore they're impossible to prove that they happened. It's sort of like Schrodinger's cat, right? Isn't actually both alive and dead, but it might as well be because you don't know until you open the box, right? It isn't like it isn't physically, it's impossible for it to be physically both alive and dead. It must be one of the two, but it might as well be both because you don't know until you open the box, right? So um yeah. So I was thinking the other day that yeah, ideas are really an abstract thing. The thoughts, in fact, thoughts in general are so abstract because they're not. You don't really have a way to really put them into, you know, something physical. Like if you write something or you make a movie or you make a painting, that thing's gonna stay there. It's a physical thing that's gonna stay where you put it, right? It's always gonna be there unless someone destroys it, obviously. But we have writings from, street writings from people in Rome. In fact, we have cave paintings, right, from people in the Stone Age, right? And But ideas are not that. We think they are. Because in our heads, they are a physical thing. Once you have an idea, you can always recall it. But you, as a person, are not always going to be there, right? We think, we tend to think, I don't really know if most people think like this, but we tend to think, at least with most people that I've talked with, we tend to think that those ideas are always going to be there, right? We're always going to be able to recall an idea that we had years ago. You know, when you have an idea late at night, you can always, remember it the next morning. Or you might forget, but the point is that idea is always going to be in your brain. And you can remember, even if you forget, you can always remember years later. Oh shit, I had this idea, right? But they're not really going to be there forever because you are not going to be there forever, right? And it's so weird to think about that. Like, not even about yourself not existing, which is, we always have to live with that, with knowing that, but with the idea of your thoughts not being something physical that you can recall at any time, because they're gonna disappear. In fact, 99% of what you think is going to disappear. And people and friends and even the people that most know you, your partner, might think that they know you, but do they really know you? Like, do they know the insights of your brain? Do they know exactly what you're thinking? Because you don't really share 99% of what you think, or maybe 90% of what you think. Like when you're in the shower, when you're in the morning thinking about what you're gonna do, when you're a kid thinking about what you're gonna be when you grow up, when you're in the bathroom, when you're in bed, even when you're with people and you're thinking about things that you're not going to share or going to talk about. It's weird, man. It's weird. It's weird to think that those things are just gonna disappear. Those things basically never happened. All of those thoughts, all of those ideas, all of that time that you spent thinking about what you're gonna do today, or what you're gonna do the next week, all those things are basically non-existent. They're basically irrelevant for the course of history. And so I guess I just wanted to make like sort of a place where I could force myself to get those thoughts out of my brain, right? Whether it be ideas, whether it be just thoughts in general about philosophy, or, about other topics, thoughts that I've had about, logic or language or biology or basically any kind of um, thought that I just get and force myself to make a video every day talking about something interesting that I thought about, and sort of just share it with you guys, which, I know that I say you guys and I say this series as if I'm an actual YouTuber or something. I don't have an audience. I haven't uploaded a video in my life. I used to upload to an old channel when I was a kid. I'm 19 now. I used to upload to an old channel, but I accidentally deleted it, and I regret that. I cried. I actually cried the day I deleted it. And it's sad, but yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to make a series about my thoughts. I intend to do this every day, sort of like more or less 10-minute video, might be less, might be 15, might be 20, but I don't think I'm ever going to make in this series a video longer than 20 minutes, because it's really not, there's really not that much to say, because I'm just going to choose a thought or a topic that I want to speak on. Like today, it was, the thoughts in your mind, and just talk about it for a short while and share my thoughts and my opinions with you guys. If there is anyone watching, um, enjoy my thoughts. You can feel free to either argue with me or agree with me or whatever in the comments if you want, or have a conversation with other people about the topic that I'm talking about, or any other topic. I don't really care. You can do whatever in the comments. And yeah, if there is someone watching, then thank you for watching. And if not, then I don't really care, because this is really just a personal log or personal video collection, so that I can, matter basically. Someone can watch this video years from now, and even when I'm dead, think, oh, that guy's thoughts didn't disappear, because he actually put them into something physical. His thoughts weren't in his head only, and when he died, they disappeared with him. They were actually, recorded. You can think about many people in history that have just disappeared and have never mattered. If you think about it, we have a really short list of people that we actually have recorded in history, like their names and sort of a little bit what they did in their lives. And there's so many people, like 99.99999% of people in history have just disappeared without any trace. And it's basically as if their thoughts and their existence didn't happen, right? Because yeah, some certain people did. Obviously, the ones who fought wars mattered, but did they exist as an individual? Because we don't remember. We might even remember their names and put them in a wall or something, but we don't really know what their thoughts were. We don't know their family. We don't know what they were thinking, why they enlisted into the military, why they were fighting for their country, who they had waiting for them at home. We don't know anything. What ideas they had. They might have had brilliant ideas, millionaire uh, material, but they died. They never recorded them or wrote them down, and even if they did, it's so volatile. Everything is so volatile in this world. So yeah, I just wanted to have like a log of the thoughts that I have every day in my life, so that they, you know, stay somewhere else than in my neurons. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Bye. See you tomorrow, if I remember to upload this and it doesn't just get lost into the back of my mind and I forget about this series completely, but I hope not. I hope that I remember. Bye.